Jesus is King. Welcome back to Disputed Trad Questions. Distributism. With co-host Nicholas Cavazos, everybody's favorite traditional Thomist Texan. Cavazos, happy Trump presidency to you.
I know. Happy Trump presidency. Hail Trump, everyone. What a great first week we've had.
Hail to the Trump. Yeah, so we'll talk about that in a minute. So this is our new format. So what we're going to do here is we're going to do this show every fourth Friday of the year, God willing. And I hope that all of our viewers and listeners are able to name all of the faces that you just saw, because these are some of the godfathers and a few godmothers of the trad movement. I love the newspaper clipping that I found of Sister Wilhelmina. That was pretty sweet.
That was cool.
What's up, Richard? And then the final video is a video that I took at the Eucharistic Congress when the Latin Mass was celebrated by Archbishop Cordileone. And most of the participants had walked a mile to get to this TLM. And as you can see there, the overflow tent, there was about 1,000 people in the nave of the church, 1,000 people in that tent. And then the overflow tent was also overflowing. Mm-hmm. So it was a great witness to the Latin Mass at the Eucharistic Congress.
Yeah, that's really cool. Really cool video.
So here's our topic today. So this is going to be for all of the patrons of Traditional Thomist and the guild members of Meaning of Catholic. So this is a preview. If you want the full show, got to become a guild member or a patron subscriber. What's your Patreon again? It's patreon.com/Traditional Thomist, right?
Exactly.
And do you have anything else, any other like a locals or anything like that, or any other way that people can support you?
Cavazos? No way, just through prayer. That's the definitely the big one. Honestly, through prayer, just because for me especially, I find that as I'm doing all of these different series over stuff like catechisms and things, the devil does not want even just good basic Catholic knowledge to be out there. So a lot of prayer. And if people do want to follow me on social media, they can follow me over on Instagram under either just my name, Nicholas Cavazos, or under Traditional Thomist. Under Traditional Thomist, you'll get lots of cool video footage and photos and stuff like that of particularly the Society of St. Pius X and affiliated religious orders, all kinds of fun stuff like that. So I don't plug it enough. It's definitely important. Definitely go follow me over there, because as I go out on lots of different shows, I also will post that. And so I'm usually every single week I'm with Anthony and Rob over on Avoiding Babylon on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Last night we had Sam Shamoon, the great Sam Shamoon, Halal Hogan, as he's also known affectionately on YouTube, to talk for almost 3 hours over the eras of Mohammedanism, as Flanders would call it, Islam. And it was great. And so I'll be going on there on Sam Shamoon's show, hopefully in the near future, to talk about some more of the eras of Islam. So yeah, people can go follow me over there.
Cool. Yeah. So Cavazos and I we started this series last year, and we did a total of 5 different episodes. Most of them are only behind the paywall, but there are a few that are open as well, where we kind of fleshed out some of the basics of the differences between our positions and our viewpoints regarding Vatican II and the new so-called new ecclesiology. Our first episode was on the new Mass, however, and we had some back and forth on that. So guild members, you can access all those episodes on the guild. And the new format is basically we're going to read through the complete works of Archbishop V. And we're going to discuss them. I've only gotten through 2. I'm on number 3 right now. And I've read through, well, I haven't totally finished the biography, actually.
The big one.
And so I've read Letter to Confused Catholics, and They Haven't Crowned Him. And now I'm reading The Mystery of Jesus. And we also are going to talk about the history of the trad movement. There's been a number of interesting texts recently that have been published. So, and then sometimes we'll have guests. So here's our format. So next month we actually have Sebastian Morello. who wrote this text right here. The world as God's icon, creator and creation in the Platonic thought of Thomas Aquinas. So we'll be talking about Platonic Thomism, and he also has a new text by Os Justi Press. We'll be discussing that with him as well. So that'll be next month's show. And then other than that, we're just going to be talking about the complete works of Lefebvre, history of the trad movement. Here's some recent text right here that I have. Let's see. So there's Faith of Our Fathers, Traditionalism in the United States, from Triumph to Traditionis Custodes. There is Yves Chiron, A History of the Catholic Traditionalism with special attention to France.
Mm-hmm.
We also have The Right Hand of the Lord is Exalted, A History of Catholic Traditionalism from Vatican II to Traditionis Custodes by Aurelio Porfiri, who's Italian. And then we also have the English perspective from Joseph Shaw. This is The Latin Mass and the Intellectuals, Petitions to Save the Ancient Mass from 66 to 2007. So there's a lot of Englishmen in this case. So a lot of history. So looking at the trad movement for all different contexts. And I do this with, there's two other people that I do this with where we read the complete works of somebody, and I'm excited to do this. So Cavazos, you've already read all the complete works of Lefebvre yourself?
Not every single work. I've read the two aforementioned that you mentioned, as well as the work that I think it's so underrated, but I think it's right up there with They've Uncrowned Him, and it's his work Against the Heresies. It's like 300 or 400 pages. It's a pretty big book. I don't know how long it is, but it's basically his opening course for what's called year one seminarians. Technically, they've been in for 2 years. And it's the course called Acts of the Magisterium. And it's where Archbishop Lefebvre goes over the encyclicals of many popes from the preconciliar era, and basically in the same format that he was taught at the French seminary in Rome. They use these encyclicals to debunk what's called the modern eras: liberalism, modernism, neo-modernism, etc. And so it's a very good book. It's basically his commentary over these texts. I've also not finished, but another great work of his is called, I think it's just called The Holy Mass, or no, on the Mass of All Time. And it's his work over, it's basically a compilation of every statement he's ever made on the subject of the traditional Mass, as well as the new Mass. So those are the works that I've gone through. Very, very good. And then the work that you're going through currently, it was the spiritual writing that you're reading through, right, Timothy?
Yeah.
Like was it My Spiritual Life, or what was it?
Well, yeah, there's like let's see, Spiritual Journey.
That's it. Yeah.
The Spiritual Journey, this one, but then I'm reading The Mystery of Jesus, the Meditations of Archbishop Lefebvre.
Okay. It's not that one. It's the first one that I've also been exposed to. He outlines that work in the same format as St. Thomas's Summa, but he just gives small, short discussions over the spiritual life. It's really, really interesting work.
Okay.
They all great stuff.
Spiritual Journey. Cool. Yeah. So, I mean, like any controversial figure, one needs to read their writings, read their words, read about their life to properly evaluate. I myself I'm certainly a pro SSPX person, but I have various critical stances against them in various ways, as we've discussed in this series. So that's that. So we'll discuss more about that in the future. So our topics today are, we're going to rehash some of our basic positions, review what we've gone through the past year, and then we're going to talk about all of these topics, which are your questions. So all the guild members contributed their questions for us to discuss, and including the Luminous Mysteries, Trump, and fascism. So we're hitting on all of the important topics. So
some light tea time conversation.
Tea time conversation. Yes. So let's get into it. Let's discuss some of our basic positions. What would be summarizing our basic views here. So if you want the full show, become a patron subscriber of Traditional Thomas or a guild member of Munich Catholic.